So AH's newest movie has become a worldwide flop now, with it going out worldwide and being such a disaster that places like CNN are saying, yeah, that movie In the Fire, it goes up in flames. Even the critics who are on her side that have been pushing her so long, I mean, they are panning this movie too, with an 11% coming in at Rotten Tomatoes. And when you look at those individual reviews, oh man, I mean, these are bad. I mean, we're talking about bad to the point that there's only one positive here. And yeah, that positive, let's just say if you were in school, a 65% would not be a passing grade. The earnings on this, oh man, they are bad. We are talking about really, really bad too. It gets much, much worse than this as well. You and I, we're going to talk about it all today. Man, this really is fun times. This is fun times indeed. All right, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day. By the way, I hope you are doing excellently. So AH's newest movie has now flopped worldwide, with this thing releasing to everyone on October the 13th. That's Friday the 13th, going in select theaters, on demand, and digital. Yeah, not really getting any help whatsoever. Now consider, this is a movie that paid AH over $60,000 reportedly, and the numbers that we're seeing, they're around $20,000 in change, and a lot of that, it comes from people like this. I mean, listen to the second part here. Quote, "For In the Fire, that's not my genre of film, but where she has shown love and respect. So far, I have bought 6 tickets over 2 playings, 3 seats at each performance, in the front row of UCI Cinema in Milan. I think the film is only showing in 5 Italian cinemas, and I managed to find one. I don't want to get in anybody's way who actually attends, so I bought seats people would unlikely to buy unless the cinema is rammed, which it wasn't last night. Only 3 other seats had sold, and they say they're doing this because, well, the money men, they'll take note. That's what will matter if she wants to rehabilitate her career." See, currently, this movie, it is getting wrecked hard right now. When I say it's getting wrecked, it's not just audiences that are doing that at 42%. It's the critics. I mean, if you look at that number there, 11% so far on 9 ratings. Now, it gets much, much worse when you start breaking down these reviews, reading what they have to say. Why? Because they not only call it boring and tedious, but they point out the fact that AH, yeah, she's to blame for this stuff. Why? Because she's not only an actress on this, she's a producer as well. I mean, check this out. I mean, she gets ripped apart here, utterly. Quote, "Despite the title, In the Fire, again, there's not much heat in this slow-burning horror saga, which is more tedious than suspenseful." Oh, that's not good at all. CNN, a pretty awful starring vehicle for the actor that she also produced, a film unlikely to produce many sparks beyond those set off by the morbidly curious. AKA, if you didn't check out that trial, if you weren't interested in that and to see her fill in the aftermath, you're probably not going to pick it up at all. The problems are many, such as its stilted dialogue and predictable genre tropes, and there's a general sense that this movie wouldn't even exist if AH had passed on it. So, the vehicle for this thing, it's her. It's totally contingent on her. If she would have passed on the thing, I mean, that's bad. They give it a 2 out of 5. There's a considerable flaw in the calculation of this tale, and it leads to a sour, hypocritical conclusion. Wow, that's not love at all. I mean, they still give it a 2 out of 4. This isn't entertainment. It's an endurance test. Oh man, I mean, that is harsh. 1 out of 4. A shallow, tedious and forgetful horror thriller that suffers from clunkiness, stilted dialogue, lazy exposition, and a lackluster plot that's dark but very low on suspense and intrigue. AH is miscast here and gives a hammy performance. And I kind of love that, by the way, because the only positive on the list at all says, hey, this is some of her best work, implying, yeah, if you think this stuff is bad, wait till you get a load of everything else. Here's the positive, the only one on the list. Quote, in The Fire, bandies back and forth between science and religious doctrine and ultimately delivers on an engrossing thriller which contains some of AH's best work. I mean, that almost seems like an insult. Again, they give it a 6 out of 5 out of 10 too, a 65%. Yeah, that, to me, that's not a passing grade. Some passion does emerge from performances, but wilder swings of condemnation, along with romantic entanglement, take material that initially feels invested in reality, turns it into a soap opera that sounds about right for something with AH, and finally, here, fails as a crisis of faith science drama and a supernatural thriller. In the Fire is where it belongs. So they're telling you, this is such trash. It's a 1 out of 5. Yeah, the flames it should consume in The Fire. Now, I love the audience scores too, by the way. Why? Because the AH shills, they're trying hard to sell this thing, and it's not working for them. I mean, listen to this stuff here. This is a 5 out of 5 review by one of them. Dark and enthralling. Heard effortlessly carries this slow burn, pun intended, parable, which, with its meditation on mob culture, could fit as cleanly into 1600s witch hunt trial as it could into the real-life horror of Heard's own social media takedown. Stays with you. I mean, she burned herself down. That could be in The Fire, but no, they're like, it's such a witch hunt. You have other ones too. They're like, 5 out of 5. Truly one of her best works. And those are surrounded by people saying, yeah, this is a mess. This is absolutely a mess. And the only reason that it's getting positives at all is because of the AH fans. You can see that right there. AH fans, they're making multiple accounts. They're trying to rate this thing up, and still, even with the ballooned notes, yeah, you still have this thing at 42%. What's funny too is that the media, they want to bail AH out on this. They try in articles. They're like, hey, whatever your opinion is on her, and people have them, even if they're possibly ill-informed, they still can't tell you it's good. This thing is a trash fire. They know it's a trash fire. She was part of the making of the thing. Yeah, there goes your Hollywood comeback, right? But anyway, let me know what you think about this. And as always, appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work. Thank you. Can't say that enough. Want to help out the channel, by the way? Links are in the description. Can always use your help, too. Share this everywhere. Inform people about it. Yeah. But anyway, appreciate you. We will see you soon.